So after a long time of waiting, we finally have a full trailer for Legend of the Sea Devils, and it looks absolutely incredible, and I'm going to quickly break down the trailer to see if there's anything people have missed. So firstly, we get a shot of the Doctor, Yaz and Dan in their new costumes, which I think all look great, and Dan's costume is quite funny, as obviously it's meant to be. And then we get the shot of the Sea Devil we saw at the end of the Next Time trailer in Eve of the Daleks, and yeah, they just still look as good as they did then. Then we get an amazing shot of the TARDIS underwater, and it looks really cool with the light on top, and the doors open, giving some great lighting to the sea around it. Looks like there might be something off to the left hand side, but it's not clear enough for me to see what. And then we get a shot of the Myrka. Well, we don't actually know if it is the Myrka, but it's a giant sea monster with fins heading towards the pirate ship. And the Myrka had fins in Warriors of the Deep and was supposed to be a giant sea monster, but you know, it ended up looking like the Myrka. But you've got sea devils and a giant sea monster, so, you know, probably is the Myrka, which is quite funny because I never thought in a million years they would actually bring the Myrka back. But I am very here for them trying to fix its less than good reputation. And we get a quick shot of Dan, not really much to say there. And then we get a shot of the Sea Devils pirate ship, and it's sort of floating across the water with these green things attached to the bottom of it. And I'm assuming it is the Sea Devils one because in the previous shot with Dan, the sails on that ship were red, whereas these ones are sort of broken and battered and don't really have a colour. Then we get a shot of the Doctor and Yaz, and yes, Phasmin, that will be explored in this episode, according to the director. I mean, that was fairly obvious, wasn't it? But like, yeah, I just thought I'd mention it here. Phasmin is canon and happening. And then we get a quick shot of Madam Ching from behind and the Doctor, Yaz and Dan again. And then the Doctor talks about Madam Ching, Pirate Queen. It's quite interesting because they're not on the pirate ship here, so the entire episode isn't going to be taking place on the ships. They are going to go onto some land at some point, which I find quite interesting because it makes it look like it's going to be the Space Under Siege story, but maybe it isn't. Then we get a few more shots of the cast on the pirate ship before we get another shot of the TARDIS underwater, but this time the doors open with the Doctor and Yaz standing in it, and all these underwater shots of the TARDIS just look really, really good. Then we get some title cards showing some cool sort of maybe drone shots of the sea, or it could be CGI, and if it is, it's very good CGI. And then just some more shots of the Doctor, Yaz and Dan, and then there's the bit about the joke with Dan's costume, and then just get more shots of the Doctor and Yaz, this time inside the TARDIS. We get another shot of the floating Sea Devil ship, which looks really cool, bathed in all like the steam and the smoke and things. And then just some actiony shots of the Doctor and Yaz swinging onto the ship. Then we get a really cool visual of something weird going on with the stars in the sky, with Dan, Madam Ching, and another character all just looking up at the sky, before we get our first shot of the Sea Devils in the trailer, and they look really cool. You can see they revealed in the Doctor Who magazine that the masks don't move practically, but they've CGI'd them so that they have life, and you can see that they have been CGI'd, but the CGI on the one at the front looked really good, and the Sea Devil design is just so good, and they look so cool. And there's also, as people have been calling it, the derpy Sea Devil to the right, which just looks really funny, but also, you know, cool. Then we get some more shots of something happening with the sea. I'm assuming that's probably the Myrka coming up. Quick shot of the Doctor talking about chaos. Some people have maybe been linking that to the Master. Then we get a shot of Yaz having a sword fight with a Sea Devil, and it looks like Sea Devil's sword has got some sort of electric thing, kind of lightsaber-esque, I guess, and there's just some impact stuff going on there. We then get a shot of the Sea Devils flying up the side of the floating ship. Now, I've been assuming this is the Sea Devil ship, but I wouldn't get why they'd be climbing up the side of their own ship, but yeah, that's a bit interesting there. Once again, the visuals, the CGI on this looks literally cinema quality, and it looks so cool. We then have a shot of the Sea Devil talking to the Doctor. Now, interestingly, there's a thing around its neck, and the rumour was that they didn't talk using their mouths. They had like a translator device around their neck which glowed when they spoke, and that seems to be the case. But if you also look, the Sea Devil is also moving its mouth in some way. So what I'm assuming is happening is the Sea Devil is moving, speaking its own native language, and then the thing around its neck is glowing in time with the speech, which translates it to English for us to hear. But When I first heard that rumour, I didn't really like it, but seeing it here, it looks fine, and the translator device is done in a much better way than I thought it would be, and plus the extra moving facial expressions and things just sell the costumes anyway, so I think it's fine. We then just get some more shots of the cast, a good shot of some cannons firing, just generic pirate stuff you'd be expecting. There's a brief shot of the Doctor and Yaz, so more Phasm stuff. A weird sort of whirlpool thing. Now, I don't really know what this is, but it looks like there is a ship in it, so maybe they're dragging a ship underwater, although that could easily just be a person as well. And then we just get some more brief shots of the cast. There's one of them inside the TARDIS, there's some more stuff with Yaz having a sword fight with the Sea Devil. Then we get one shot towards the end of the giant sea monster, which is probably the Myrka, appearing to swallow the TARDIS, which I think is quite interesting. And the trailer ends with a shot of the Sea Devil swinging its sword across the camera, and this just looks great. And I can't believe we've got the Sea Devils back after all this time. But you can also see they've got some sort of distortion on them when the sword swings past, which implies it is some sort of weird energy sword. Bit disappointed that we aren't seeing the circle guns again, but you know, I can live with that, it's not that big of an issue. And that's the trailer, but what do you think about it? I think it looks fantastic, but I want to know what you think. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. But in the meantime, I've been Cyberman Alf, and from me for now, it's goodbye.